tell something about the group of poets and artists. I belong to a group of poets and artists called Mitaraka. I want to explain the name, the word Mitaraka. It's in fact, Mitaraka is the name of a kind of mountain in the southwest of French Guyana, right on the border from Surinam, Brazil, and Guyana. And it is a sacred place because I think there was some Indians there, Amerindians, living there for a long time, but now nobody is there. It's completely forest, jungle, you know. It's very difficult to get there, by the way. And at the top of the mount, you have some kind of big stones, you know. They are really, in a way, they look like men and they look like also animals, you know. I think it was a sacred place for the Amerindian, a kind of a place where they will worship something, you know. So for us, it was very important to have this name because we work a lot on sacred, profane, you know, what is sacred in our world, you know, what is all this culture, you know, Amerindian culture, Creole culture, Bushinanguese culture, people living on the river, you understand, and so on. So for us, it was very, very important to have this kind of denomination for a group. So it is a group made of artists and I mean painters, artists, and also musicians, writers, poets, and we all have connection, you know. And we are publishing a magazine called Mitaraka.
Mitaraka.
And the next issue, the next issue, I think we will publish some of your poems and some of other poems from
Mexico.
You know. So I am involved a lot in this kind of this poetry in general, and in artists also in art, you know, all kind of art, you know. So
are there many poets in Guyana?
You have an association of a big association where I belong to, of poets and writers in French Guyana. Yes, you have we can say quite a lot of poets, but we can say two main poets here, Guyanese, French Guyanese poet born here in French Guyana, you know, and they're quite famous here in Guyana, and also maybe in the French Antilles, you know. So, but they have been, I don't think, some have been translated, but I don't think they've been translated in Spanish, you know. But yes, you have some poet here. You have some poet in French Guyana. You have a association of poets. You have a group of poets. You have a big association where you have everybody in it, and we have a small group like us. We work on something special, you know. So this is our group is very open on the world, very open on South America. Some of other associations are more like local associations, speaking French Guyana, something like this, you know, but not really very open on the world and South America. You know, us is opposite to have open on the world. So this is important for us. Very important.
Well, I see from the other program that I made with Fred, we made a program about the MSF, and what I told was that all the Latin American world, the Latin American countries that we speak Spanish, we are kind of we don't know a lot about the French speaking countries, and we don't know about their history, and we don't know about their art. So that makes me curious about all the authors on the past, and also about the authors on the present. You see, and that must be, I think it must be the barrier of the language?
It's not really a barrier. It is because French Guyana and the French Antilles are very linked with France. You must understand this.
Yes.
And we don't belong to any association of South America. You understand? This is one of the reasons. Everything is in direction Europe and France. You understand? So continent. You understand? We have only some. We have not much cultural exchanges. You know, very few. You know, some some very small link, you know, between countries here around, you understand? So this is the reason. For example, a lot of French Guyanese poets went to give conference, but in France, you understand?
Yes.
Very few, some, but very few went even to Surinam, which is next door, you understand? Or to Brazil to have a meeting and things like this. We have some, but it is very weak, not. It is not really very strong link, you understand? Not strong link, you understand? So it's one of the reasons why there is no translation. There's no real meeting between us and the continent. Is one of the reasons. We are quite isolated, quite isolated here on the South America. People here think they belong to Europe, you know, they think they are European. You have to understand this. So it's very strange, you understand? And very strange because the geography is, in fact, is South American, you understand? We have big rivers, even the architecture is very South American architecture, you understand? Also the people, how they look, you understand, how they walk, the music, all of this is really from here, South American, or at least Caribbean, you understand? But in a way, the education, school education, and many things are linked, very linked, strongly linked to France, you understand? You have to understand it. We are a department of France, department. So, of course, you cannot have the same relation, and you with other Latin American countries, you understand, where you have the language, you have also some commercial link, you have all of this make like you have connection, meeting, people going from one country to another one, and things like this, you understand? It's very different. But us, our group, we organize link, we go to Suriname regularly to have conferences, to meet association of writers there. I know the Surinamese writers and poets very well. Also Brazil, north of Brazil, I know them personally, they're friends, you understand? We did some contact, a lot of contact with these people around us, you understand? But we are very, it is not very common, I must say, in French Guiana. French Guiana is a very little country, really isolated, and linked really to France, understand, for a lot of reasons.
I understand that your magazine is in 4 languages.
Yes, we have an article in English, in Spanish, in Dutch, because in Suriname they speak Dutch. Understand? English also for the Guyanas, I mean Republic of Guyana, you understand? In Georgetown. So we have all the kinds of languages speaking here in the continent, you understand? Portuguese, Spanish, and all of this. Some articles are translated, some there is a resume, you understand, of the articles, and sometimes we translate poems, you understand, but not all the time, I must say. Sometimes we don't, and we send after magazine all over the world. It is this. We send the magazine there, even in Japan. So
how long have you been publishing the magazine?
We published the first magazine in 1990.
Okay, about 30 years?
Yes, that's it. The first magazine was in 1919. We did a big exhibition here and lecture of poems and things like this. The first magazine, it was the same, it was very open. There's a lot of writers from Guadeloupe, Martinique, Suriname, and even Brazil, I think, yes. and we publish after regular, not really regular, but at least one by year. But everyone in his field is also working. You understand? This means we have painters, we have poets, we have writers, and we are in connection all together to do something together. Understand? This is we are friends, in fact, from all over the world. Understand?
Dominique, I saw the channel. You have a channel in YouTube that is called Mitaraka too. I saw the video. I didn't understand it almost because it was in French, but I saw some very interesting dance groups, and you were explaining about the merge of different cultures that came out to those group dance. So you also in your YouTube channel, you are taking some, you are viewing, you are contemplating not only poetry, literature, or paintings, but also dance. That's very interesting. Tell me a little about these groups. Are there established groups, dance groups, or they are from schools? Do they teach those kind of dances in school? Tell me about it. Or they just dance it in, I don't know, in Paris or in folk Paris? What about them?
Yes, the videos you saw on YouTube, if you click Amazonie and Mitaraka, you will see, in fact, me explaining a little bit about the group, you understand, in short, you understand, how we deal with poetry, how we deal with art, how we deal with the culture here from Amazonia. This means the shamans, the American culture, the Bushinagets culture, you understand, and so on. And you see the people dancing because one of our members is a dancer and a musician, you understand, and he perform and he make shows, you understand. In fact, he did some shows in France, you understand, with drummers, all kind of things, and singing also, you understand, and things like this. And this is a show, in fact. It is you can see it on stage, you understand, and it is, in fact, a film about what, in short, what is it? This group Mitaraka. Also, we are very linked with nature, you understand. As in you saw in the video. I mean, you see a lot of scene of nature, you understand. You see also what we call Inselberg, this kind of mountain, very flat at the top, and above the forest, you understand, the green forest, you understand. And you see this, and this is what we call Inselberg. The Mitaraka mountain is this kind of mountain. We, in our group, we have also some shaman. We have to know this, you know, shaman, Amerindian shaman, you know, and we have also some people from the river, you understand. This means African people who escaped slavery, you understand, and they are part also a long time ago, of course, but they are the descendants. Yes.
So that's cimarrones. They call it. We call it in the poema in Spanish.
Cimarrones, we call them marrons here. So, but they are in fact now Juka, Saramaka, Boni. It's the names of these people living along the river, along the long river, 700 kilometers. It's a frontier border between Suriname and French Guyana. But in fact, for the people, it's not a border. It is a way to go to villages. It is a way of communication, yes, because you have the same people living on one side and on the other side, the same people, exactly the same people. And things like this. Myself, I am now retired, but I was a teacher for a long time, you understand, and I teach in school, high school, you know, and boy, it was a pleasure for me to teach. Why? Because it was a relation with young people. This is very good because they put your time, you put yourself in question, understand? This is good, you understand? Because always you think about they did not understand why they did not understand, you understand? And you are all time on the ways, and you have to move yourself You have to change your way of teaching. You have to think about what you did wrong and things like this. I never think the students are wrong. I think me, I did something wrong. This is sure. This is my point of view of a teacher. Understand? Not
Yes, it must be.
telling you yes, are lazy or whatever. No, I don't believe in laziness like this. No, I don't believe in this. No, I think people want to learn, but if it is boring, you have to. It is this. I mean, teaching mustn't be boring. If it is boring, it is not teaching. This is sure. So this must be a pleasure for the students and a pleasure for teachers.
For the teacher, yes.
Very well. It is not always like this. But for me, I get a very good time teaching because I have a very good relation with my students. They love me and I love them. You know, a very good experience of life. For me, it was an experience of life because I have not been always a teacher. I did a lot of different jobs in my life. So I travel a lot, like you say. I went all over the world, just in Asia, in Africa, in Egypt. I went 3 times in Egypt.
You have the portrait of the magazine of Mitaraka?
So I did not do everything because it's a lot. So you see this kind of magazine, you know, like this, you know, with a cover, a natural cover with a name here, you understand, and with something like this. Also, this one like this. Alors, what is it? This? It in fact it is our Amerindian cook, you know, and this is the gold of time, you know, like we're searching the gold of time, and this is it here at the middle. You see this there, you know, and in this one, for example, you have a lot of writers from the Antilles. You have Amerindian artists. You have a lot of things. I will show you this one. This one, this is a painting from an Haitian guy, you understand? And it is a very nice painting. On inside, you have a lot of poets and poems also. And you have a Cuban, by the way. You have you see, painting like this.
I see.
You know, a lot of article also, a lot of, and you have this one. This was done by the shaman guy, you know, and this was
Put
done.
It a little up.
Yes, like this.
Oh, I see.
It was made of. It was made of a piece of seed and wood. You understand? It is the shaman guy did this. And here you have someone from the river. Bushinage did this, you know. It is like, and you have also this one. It was a kind of catalog we did on an exhibition also evening, you understand? And you see, like this, you know. So, by the way, we have the support. Very often we have the support because to do all of this, you need some money, of course, you know. And we have the support of the Minister of Culture very often because they know we will do the same. You understand? When we tell we will publish, we are publishing. We do a lot of work. A lot.
Yes, I can see. It's a very nice magazine. A lot of work, and for so long, you know, 30 years. It is a compilation of all the art, mostly of the region. I mean, you invite people from other places, but it's a very nice an historic compilation of art in the region.
We are planning to do a compilation of all the Mitarakas. It's a lot, and now we are working on the next issue now, the very next issue, and it will be some poem, of course, of all of you. I think 4 or 5 people, and also we have some poem from Brazil, Surinam, poem from here, of course, French Guyana, and some poem also of Guadeloupe, a man called Ernest Pépin, you know, is one of the writers of Guadeloupe. It's Guadeloupean, no? Honest Pépin, I think. We have some kind of poems, and we have also some short story from young people, because I'm very, we are willing to really to push young people to write and to be involved in poetry. So they send me something, and some of them are quite good. So it's like this. My life is almost entirely dealing with poetry and art.
Congratulations for this life, Dominique. I am very pleased to have met you. So nice to have you in my program, and we'll see you. I mean, just now we are going to finish, but I hope we keep in contact. And I would like so much to have at least one magazine in my hands after you publish it.
Of course, after when we publish the magazine, in January, we send magazine at all the people where they have something in the magazine. So you have even we have sent it to Cuba, we have sent it to the last time to Brazil, and everywhere where you have a writer who wrote in our magazine, we send it the magazine after.
Congratulations for this job, Dominique, and keep going. And really, you have made a poem with your life. I love what you told me when you wrote to me that life is about love and freedom. I think I feel the same as you. Love and freedom. I like it, and that's art about it mostly, no?
Yes, I think the most the nicest values are love and freedom.
Yes, 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 love and freedom. Gracias a todos por este programa. Nos vemos hasta luego.